up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Stampede, where I take your gaming questions and I take a Let's Player and I make them dance like puppets under the strings of my opinions. I'm your host, Buffalo Prime, and as always, the Stampede is brought to you by the Hive, with game reviews, Let's Plays, and the Buzz Gaming Talk Show. We are your one-stop shop for all things gaming. So make sure to subscribe, like, and comment today. Now today we got a question that's coming from our main squeeze, Xenomite, whom, if you remember, we interviewed a couple of episodes ago on the Stampede. And Xenomite asks us today, what's your favorite genre of video games? If you had to only select one, what would that genre be, folks at home? Obviously, we want to hear your opinion, but I got to sit down with a guy named Quentin from NotAShowYet, a Let's Play group that does a lot of things in Dragon Ball Z territory. They've messed with Metal Gear Solid and a couple of other great videos as well. It's a group of 4 of them, and they have great content. Obviously, their stuff is in the description section below if you would like to check them out. But I had a sit down with Quentin regarding this question, and let's take a look at how that sounded. All right, Quentin, I got you on my show from NotAShowYet. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'm super excited to have you on. Your guys' content's funny, very witty. You guys have a very natural, what do you want to say, a natural rapport with each other. Can you give us a little bit of background on NotAShowYet?
Well, Brian and I, there's actually 4 main people on the channel. It's Brian and I, and then our friend Chris, and then Brian's girlfriend Jade. Brian and I have been friends for like 12 years. Same with Chris. Jade and Brian met in high school. Yada, yada, yada. How NotAShowYet started was we were hanging out in Brian's mom's basement. And he looks at me and he's like, do you want to play Legend of Zelda? I'm like, sure. And he pulls out this Razzle. Do you know what a Razzle is?
Wow. No, I don't.
It is the shittiest recording thing ever. And it was super awful. And Brian and I pulled out this he pulled out this microphone, and he's like, what I found at a garage sale. And I'm like, oh shit. And we decided to record Zelda 2. Wow. And it was awful.
I think everybody's first Let's Play is always a little bad. You know, we did the Let's Play of Dynasty Warriors 8, and it was god awful the first episode.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it was bad, it's just no, those videos will never see the light of day. We will make sure of that, because it was super late at night, early in the morning, and it was just bad. It was awful. But we did have recordings of us sounding like chipmunks that we wanted to put up in the eventual future if we can ever find those files, because they have been lost for years.
I mean, it's always interesting to listen to these Let's Play stories of how everybody starts. I think everybody's kind of got a weird twist, and no Let's Play channel is the same. So, I mean, your guys' upbringing in that terms is very unique. So, tell us what NotAShowYet's doing right now. What do you got in the works? Looks like you have a couple of active Let's Plays in terms of Dragon Ball Z Budokai and Metal Gear Solid 5, but what else are you guys looking at?
We kind of just look at our combined game collection, and we're like, what do we want to play? And we look behind at the wall. We're like, let's play that game today. So we don't have exact plans. We have secret plans that you know about, but I'm not allowed to talk about publicly.
Buffalo Prime, I know things.
On our second channel, if you remember our conversation earlier, I'm so excited for it. And it's definitely something that you don't see every day. So it's unique, and it's going to be great.
And we as the Hive are looking forward to that announcement when that comes to be and comes into fruition, and working with you guys in terms of content. So definitely want to check out NotAShowYet on their YouTube. It's literally, as I say it, NotAShowYet. And then obviously the Hive guys will update on that as well. So let's jump into our topic. Xenomite, a main man, asks us a question here. It's, what's your favorite video game genre? Let's slap a big old sticker on that one from Quentin here. What's your answer to that?
Oh God, I have 2, and I feel like that's cheating.
You can't do that. You can't.
I know.
That's cheating.
I know. Oh, it's so bad, because there are 2 genres that I love to death. And if I had to pick one, it really depends on the day of the week. And today is Friday, when we record this. So I would have to say is our rhythm games, which is something that most people will never say.
Wow. Okay, you need to elaborate, because you're right. Not a lot of people would say that.
Well, I'm a musician by trade. The first rhythm game I ever played was Parappa the Rappa on the PS1.
No! I love that game!
Parappa the Rappa, the original?
Yeah. I haven't got a
Wow.
chance to play the second one yet, actually.
Really? You
Yeah.
need to get on that. Holy shit, that's awesome.
And
Wow.
I instantly fell in love with the game. And for some reason, it doesn't involve rhythm games, but that led me to my favorite game franchise of all time, Ape Escape. Don't know how that segued in. I don't know. Actually, I do remember. I saw an ad for Ape Escape when I was playing Parappa the Rappa, and that was the only way how I saw it. It's super
Funny how
weird,
that
I
things
know.
work out. Yeah, that's just weird how things like that happen. Okay,
But
so your rhythm. The answer to your question is rhythm games.
yes.
So Rock Band must make you wet your pants. It's got to be something like that.
Well, I prefer to play a real instrument, but yes.
Oh, I'm
Su-
sorry. So pressing buttons in time on Parappa the Rappa is better than a simulated guitar on Rock Band. That's what you're saying,
No, no,
essentially.
no, 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 no. I rock the bass in Rock Band. I
And
kill
Parappa
it.
the Rappa, you press the squares and the circles at the right time. Then.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Um,
that's
there is
that's
actually a rhythm
talent.
game that not a lot of people know about it, I don't think, and it's called Gitaru Man. I don't know if you've ever heard of that
Ooh,
game.
that sounds familiar. Maybe we'll throw some footage up. In fact, let's look at some footage of that really quick. Okay, okay, go on, keep going.
And it's a game where you use the analog stick to point in a grid. It's like a grid kind of, and you use the left control stick to like point in the direction of a path, and you follow the snaking path, and you press buttons. It's basically like what Guitar Hero was on the PS2, except it didn't have like the following the snaking path thing.
Got
Does that
it.
make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing.
Wow, very
People
fascinating.
people who watch when people watch the footage, they'll kind of understand better. I really suck at explaining things, and I'm sorry.
No, I got a good picture of that. Let's jump into our second question that revolves around that. If you had to be, and this kind of ties into our first Stampede episode where we talked about what game would you want to be an NPC in, but let's kind of make that a little broader and say what genre of video game, if you had to live in one, would you want to live in?
Oh, that is a tough question. I actually did watch that first episode with Xenomite, and he made a lot of good points on living as an RPG NPC. And I thought about that, and I'm like, it would be kind of cool to live in an RPG, but my store would get robbed all the time, and
All
who
the
would want
time.
that in their lives?
No.
Actually, I would want to live in a JRPG genre. I
Yeah,
know it's a subgenre, but it still kind of counts.
no, it does. I think so. I think you can get as detailed as you want in this kind of question. So yeah, JRPG, you're looking at you're gonna have a lot of content. Players are gonna keep going back to your store if you had a store in there. But it is
Exactly.
possible in a JRPG that you're gonna be stuck with just a certain location that you're in. But that's we're talking about being an NPC. That's a different conversation than actually living in the genre. You'd be able to do what you want in that genre. And yeah,
Yeah.
JRPG would be legit, except for the giant dragons and the pretty little bunnies that hop around that are somehow enemies. That would probably be terrifying. Walking in the forest one day, you see a bunny on the side that's like, "Oh, how cute are you?" and it does like 10
Then
damage.
it starts shooting fire,
Right. Yeah.
and it fucking just grows horns and a demon's tail, but it
Yeah.
has wings,
And
and it starts
obviously,
speaking in tongue. And you're just
exactly.
like, what the fuck's going on?
And obviously, a demented king is going to sick his incredibly decked out army on you and all the people, and you got to rise up against them. And there's a lot of Final Fantasy.
And then
Just
you have a party of people that are just like, dude, I have problems. And then I'm like, dude, I have my own problems. Get GTFO.
and
What
then
are
you
you
just
doing?
you just mix in and you become the greatest party ever.
Exactly.
All right, that's legit. Now, final question for you, Quentin, from Not a Show Yet. If you could force your enemy, somebody that's ever angered you, or if somebody in the future angers you, if you could force your
Brian.
enemy to play one genre forever, what genre would you force upon those that have wronged you?
Well, just because I have the opportunity to embarrass him, Brian,
Is your
the
enemy?
co he's my best friend, but he also pisses me to high hell off.
So he's like a rival, like how your
Pretty
rival,
much.
like in Pokemon, your rival in some games, you're like, oh
I'm
my
red
god,
and he's blue. Or actually, it would probably be the other way around. He's red and I'm blue, and then Chris is like green. No one like knows about green, but when green pops up, you're just like, "Oh, cool, a new addition." Even
right,
though green's been there the whole time, and you're just like, "What the fuck's going on?"
right, right. Okay,
I
that makes
would
sense.
probably have him play. See, I don't know if it falls into a genre. I would have him play EC games, early childhood games.
Yeah, family-friendly games.
Yes.
Oh god.
For the rest of his life.
But okay, now we're looking family-friendly games. Does that genre?
No, they have to have the EC rating preschool games.
Oh my gosh, that is devastating.
Well, I specifically actually had a Barbie game in mind.
Get out. That's bad. Oh my gosh, I don't know how anyone can top that.
Or actually, a game that Brian has already played but only experienced a couple minutes of it is The Enchanted Princesses.
Oh jeez. Ooh.
Doesn't that just sound awful?
It does. Oh gosh. All right, well, Quentin, not a show yet guy. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers at home before we wrap up this interview?
Check out Not a Show Yet. We make a lot of dick jokes. Actually, I'm the only one who makes the dick jokes. Brian hates me for it, but people think it's funny. That's the entire summary of our whole channel. Brian hits me a lot, and I make stupid dick jokes.
So you hear to hear first if you want your scoop of, friend-on-friend violence.
Shouldn't use the word scoop for dick jokes. That's
you want to
weird.
scoop up that dick and put it in your ear hole? And
people get...
You can look at Not a Show Yet.
God. Will you please do that dance for people? That was amazing.
Little scoop? All right. Well, Quentin, thanks so much. And we're going to turn it back over to me in the studio.
All right, and again, Quentin, we appreciate your time coming on the Stampede, and if you at home would like to be on the Stampede as well, all you really have to do is leave a comment in the comment section below, and wada bing, wada boom, we'll get a hold of you and try to make that happen. Now, it's time for my opinion on this question. What is my favorite video game genre? That's tough because, there's obviously, I'm a pretty well-rounded gamer. I've played a lot of different types of genres. I've been decent and bad in a lot of type of genres. But I would have to say at the very moment, I love MMORPGs. I love them to death. The game that I'm putting a lot of hours into right now is Final Fantasy XIV Online. It's just a phenomenal game. I've played a lot of Star Wars The Old Republic. A guilty pleasure of mine's MapleStory. So MMORPGs, has to be an RPG setting. I am a League of Legends player as well, but I really do prefer the RPG elements. And really, I like the cohesion between me and different people trying to get the common goal done. So MMORPGs, definitely. I'm on ESO as well. I haven't been playing that too much, but MMORPGs is definitely my answer to that. What genre would I like to live in, though? I gotta say sci-fi RPGs. I know Quentin mentioned JRPGs, and that kind of is along the same lines, but I'm thinking like Mass Effect. I'm thinking like, Borderlands, things like that. I would love to be a character in one of those and to live in that world. Mass Effect specifically. I mean, I'm a huge Mass Effect nerd, and like that world is so interesting to me. I would love to be on the Alliance, a part of the N7 group. It'd be awesome. Final question, my enemies, what genre of game would I force them to play? If we're kind of going along with what Quentin said, and we're going with a rival, my man Jace, I'd probably force him, I would force Jace to play, and actually I would say a lot of my friends I would force to play sports games for the rest of their lives. And now Jace probably wouldn't have as big of a deal with that, but if we're looking at Baloney Suntan, and we were to take out NHL, he would hate, and Madden maybe, but like if I forced him to play NBA all the time, Major League Baseball all the time, NASCAR all the time, absolutely he would hate it. So I think in terms of rivals, definitely would be sports games, but my enemies, I think I'd force them to play online-only fighting games. Online only. Not Mortal Kombat's Challenge Tower and their storyline, you have to play online multiplayer, because that is the most frustrating thing in the world. And like, it doesn't really matter how good you get, people can exploit the game and kick your ass. So my enemies would hate that. That's kind of where I think I would go with that. So guys, thanks again for stopping in on the Stampede. If you have a question you would like to ask the show, leave it in the comment section below and you will be highlighted in a future episode with your question and your details in the description section. And as always, I thank you so much for stopping by. Tune in next time